Hey guys, I'm really sorry about last week. Me being the ditz I am, I forgot about the whole thing. I'm really sorry. So, to make up for that, I'm going to have a probably really long rant for this one. So, I'll have a list of, what's going to be about in the bottom, so that if you don't want to watch the rant, you can just go there, see what I'm going to talk about, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, cool? Awesome. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about, Palin. I'm sorry. I think she is literally the stupidest bitch out there. I don't personally care if you like her or dislike her, because this is my opinion and I'm voicing them out, because frankly I really need to get them out of my system. So, everyone knows about the shooting that happened in Arizona. And a lot of people are saying it's Palin's fault because she had up that hit list on her website, and everyone who was having a term ending or whatever that was against her or disagreed with her or something had crosshairs on them. People with Palin have come forward to say that they're not crosshairs. I'm not exactly the most gun-savvy person. Yes, granted, I grew up with them, so I know a bit about them and just enough that I can survive in a house on my own with a whole bunch in the garage. One or two loaded, I don't really know. But if you see a circle with a straight horizontal line and a straight vertical line, the first thing that pops in most people's heads is the crosshairs that you see in a rifle scope or in a sight. Because, that helps you see the target you're going to face and you want to shoot, and it helps you kind of straighten it out, although that's only, of course, if the scope or sight is on straight. Now, I saw the pictures. I haven't gone to the website, but I've seen screen caps of the pictures. Some are white, some are red for the ones that are out. To me, they look damn well like crosshairs, and I have looked through a few scopes in my life. I can recognize crosshairs. So you can sit there and tell me that they don't look like crosshairs. They're not crosshairs. I will walk up to my garage, bring down a goddamn scope for you to look through, and you can tell me whether or not they're crosshairs. People will take them differently. Of course, Palin didn't think anyone would take them like that, but a lot of people would associate them with guns at first glance. That's exactly what I did. So that's kind of saying something there. So I think that's why this guy kind of wanted to do that, because he figured, oh, I'll be saving her some time. No, you stupid son of a bitch. Ugh. But that's another rant for another time. This is on Palin. Palin she needs to shut up. Blood libel? I mean, really? Really, Palin? Are you that fucking stupid? You claim to be smart, and granted you were the governor of Alaska, but there are so few people there and probably one person voted for you. You need to get just a little bit smarter. First, kind of make sure what you're advocating for is also supported and shown by your family. If you're gonna preach for, oh God, what's the word? Abstinence. I'm thinking adolescence. If you're going to preach for abstinence, make sure that the girls in your family are either virgins, or if you don't want to release that information, at least make sure they're not pregnant, especially with their boyfriend who they just engaged because they had a baby with them and then divorced and then got back with and then left again. Be smart enough to shut your mouth, please. Nobody gives a shit about you. Everyone hates you. Just go off into the corner. Write a sad poem in your journal and move the fuck on. Yeah, you didn't win vice president. Nobody wants you as vice president. If anyone even votes for you for president when you try to run. Oh God, that's a disturbing thought. But if anyone does vote for you, they're the idiots that you have brainwashed into thinking you're going to magically make the country better. No, you're going to cause half You're going to cause half of America's population, probably more, although I'm being very nice to you, to move out of the country somewhere where you won't be able to ruin their lives anymore. And I know this because I am making plans myself to make sure I have somewhere to be outside of this country if you ever manage to get into office. Why? Because I know you're going to fuck this country up even more than it already is. And that's saying something because this country is pretty fucked up, and a lot of people will agree with me on that. Simple words. Palin, shut the fuck up. Go do something for a year or two. Become a little bit better. Get yourself away from the Tea Party because nobody likes the Tea Party. And make an actual name for yourself. Find a political spot you can be. Senator, governor, well, probably not governor. Be on a city council for a while. Finish a term. Don't resign a few months before you're going to reach the end, because that doesn't say much about you. It says a lot of bad things about you. Oh. Get smart. Go away. Come back when you have a brain. But that's only if the Scarecrow is willing to get rid of his. Number 2. Westboro Baptist Church Group, or whatever their name is. All I know is Westboro is in there. These fucking idiots. Oh my god. If you have never heard of Westboro Baptist Church Community Group, whatever the fuck they're called, these are people who have gotten together under the idea that soldiers are being killed in Iraq because America as a society and as a country are accepting gay people into the community. We have been doing this for the past several years. We have been doing this before the war in Iraq ever got started. And even back when wars first started, there were gay people in the closets waiting for the right moment to come out, too afraid to do so because they knew they were going to be humiliated and pointed at and laughed at, and they weren't going to be able to hold a steady job to pay enough for rent to have a decent apartment. This was back in World War I and World War II, and most likely even Nam. Very few soldiers came out in Nam, and a lot of them got discharged and weren't able to get the medals that they deserved for serving our country. But I digress. People have been dying in wars since wars first began with the first few cavemen who threw rocks at each other's heads. So, explain to me how the hell soldiers are being killed in Iraq because we are finally accepting gay people when we started doing that 20, 30 years ago. How the hell does that make sense to you? Oh my god, they want to be with another guy. Oh my god, they want to be with another girl. Have you ever talked to a gay man? Have you ever talked to a lesbian woman? They are some of the most fantastic people I have ever known. 2 of my best friends are gay. One's a lesbian, one is gay. I love them both so very dearly, and if I could, I would probably see them right now and tackle them to the floor because I haven't seen them in so long. Find a gay person and talk to them and realize how amazing they are. And if you don't want to do that, don't picket in front of military funerals. And I have just talked to my dad about this when I was upstairs before I came down to film this thing. He has served in Vietnam. He is 66 years old. His father worked at the Pentagon and served in World War I or World War II or one of the two, or maybe both. I don't fucking know. His brother was also a tanker in Nam with him. My family knows what it feels like to serve in the military, and I know that because one of my great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers or whatever was in the military, has a county and a city in Jersey named after him. That's how far back in American history my family goes. I am pretty goddamn opinionated, and I'm proud of it. And while I may be an atheist, I know this much. If God created everyone, He should love who He created more than anything because we are His children. He made us. He accepts us. Why the fuck can't you? If you're part Christian or whatever the fuck you are, I don't even fucking know anymore because I'm sick of you people. You would know that God loves each and every one of us exactly the way they are. If God did make me, He loves me even if I don't believe He's real. It is the most disrespectful thing to riot in front of a military funeral. To stand across the street while a family watches their son or daughter, a soldier for the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy, the Marines, whatever they served for, they're watching their child be buried in front of them. That's not an easy sight to watch, to live longer than your own child. But when did you last have a child in the military, Shirley? And yes, I'm talking to you, Shirley Phelps Roper, or whatever the fuck your name is, the leader of Westboro. When was the last time you had a child in the military? A child that died before you did. If you haven't had that experience, don't even think about standing in front of a military funeral, especially if I'm there, or my family's there, or even my father's there, because God help us, a lot of people will have to hold each of us back. Because I don't care if you start it or if I start it. I will go over there, tackle one of you to the floor, and cave your skull in with my fist, with my foot, with my ass. I don't care what I pick up to have to find out whatever the hell is in place of your brain. I will find out what the hell makes you think you can stand outside of a military funeral and picket it because you think God is killing soldiers in Iraq. No. God is not killing soldiers in Iraq. The terrorists and people who want to get rid of American soldiers in Iraq are killing American soldiers in Iraq. Did you not stop to think about that? No, of course you don't. You don't even stop to think about anything besides what you're going to wear to the next military funeral you're going to riot at. I'm being very nice about this, because I could very well say any threat I wanted to, and I would probably act it out. But I'm not going to be that mean. Why? Because sadly you get to have your own opinion, and I have mine. Although I actually know mine's right. You want to know why that is? Because more people agree with me than you. You have a handful of people in your church society or church group or whatever. I was raised a Christian. My father was raised a Roman Catholic. I'm kind of familiar with the Bible. And well, yes, I know that the Bible doesn't exactly accept homosexuality. That doesn't mean God won't. Because the Bible was edited many times by man. So, what's your counter argument against that? I'm waiting. I'll probably have another rant next week because this felt very, very, very good. Still, I'm sorry about last week. I love you all. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to. It is up to you. But I love you guys. Mwah.